All things desi, all things spicy. This is Pxrdesi Mirchii, 7291 non-FM. Hello, namaste, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite chat show. This is your host, Minnie, and you're listening to Pxrdesi Mirchii, 7291 non-FM. I want to start today's episode by saying thank you for giving so much love to the start of season 2 post the rebrand and for streaming my very first episode with Sacha. I really hope and pray that you all continue to shower all your love on this show and let this take off in ways it very rightfully deserves. So today's episode is just gonna be me and you talking. Well, I mean, you guys are just gonna be watching and listening, but hey, you guys signed up for this. If you haven't guessed by my appearance, I will be discussing the movies today. The reason being the success the films have had in the first half of 2023. I think it's safe to say that, the audience had sort of given up on Bollywood, at least in the last couple of years. Not me though. I sort of never lost hope because I was definitely finding comfort and happiness in many films in the last few years as well. But let's leave the past in the past and focus on what we've experienced so far. I've watched quite a couple of movies this year, and I must say each of them has impacted me and had my mind blown in some way or the other. Some positives, some negatives, so let's review and rank these movies and discuss the expectations of the upcoming films second half of 2023. We began the year with Mission Majnu, starring my love Siddharth Malhotra along with Rashmika Mandanna, which was directed by Shantanu Bagchi, produced by RSVP Movies, and released on the 20th of January 2023 on Netflix. For those that don't know, Mission Majnu was supposed to have a theatrical release back in 2022, but it faced some delays and issues which caused them to push the release date and had them opt for an OTT release instead. Now, this isn't a comparison, but having watched Mallo's last two films, Sher Shah and Thank God, I really do believe that both Sher Shah and Mission Majnu should have had a theatrical release, and Thank God should have gone for the OTT release. And I say this because Thank God was the kind of film that you'd want to watch at home with the utmost comfort. It's not the kind of film that has you at the edge of your seat, unlike Sher Shah and Mission Majnu. Now, of course, Sher Shah was forced to have an OTT release due to the pandemic, but Mission Majnu would have been a better experience if it was viewed in the theater. But then again, in all honesty, Mission Majnu's release was very close to Pathan's release date, so maybe that's why the makers played it safe? Who knows? But that's a theory and has nothing to do with what I thought about the film. Speaking of performance, I think Mallo as a patriot is so heartwarming to watch. He fits the role every single time and his performance is always top-notch. Rashmika's role was great, not as much screen time as Mallo, but I feel like anytime she did come on screen, I was smiling. She's definitely a treat to watch and I would love to see her in more Hindi movies. I do believe the story was something we've seen and heard before, with films like Razi, but I feel that Rashmika and Mallo gave the film a sort of freshness that was needed to, make the story slightly different. Sucks that y'all killed him off at the end, come on. But I think overall the film was really good. The song Rabba Janda really stuck with me and it makes me all happy and giddy inside when I, listen to it. If I had to rate the film out of 10, I would probably give it a good 8 out of 10. The next film I watched was Pathaan, featuring my first love Shah Rukh Khan with Deepika Padukone and everyone's favorite eye candy, John Abraham. It was directed by Siddharth Anand and was produced by Yash Raj Films and it released on the 25th of January 2023. Now, I have said this before in previous episodes that I don't watch movie trailers, at least for Indian movies I don't. I have explained this before, but the weeks leading up to Pathaan, from the trailer release to the film release, was the toughest time for me to be on social media. There were clips everywhere I looked, bits and pieces, theories, expectations, and the point is, everything was just dissected from the trailer and the teaser and the songs. But the kind of surprise, the kind of reaction I had while watching Pathaan made not watching the trailer totally worth it. I was sitting 2 to 3 rows in front of the screen, so Shah Rukh was bigger than ever. But Pathaan was definitely an experience. The kind you can only get from being in the theater filled with other Shah Rukh Khan fans with high quality sound and visuals, screaming and shouting when the actors were introduced, especially when Shah Rukh, Deepika and John's bodies were on display. Oof! pretty sure the AC malfunctioned because the screen was definitely on fire. It makes absolutely no sense to comment on the acting because all three leads did such a fantastic job, and I can say that because not only was I at the edge of my seat the entire time, but throughout the film I felt as if I was a part of their world, doing the mission with them. The visuals, direction, incredible. I will be honest, I was not expecting Salman's cameo at all, but it was definitely a nice touch of having Tiger and Pathan on the same screen. The songs were great and I loved how they promoted the film as well. Overall, I definitely give Pathan a 9.9 out of 10. The missing 0.1 could have been given because I do think that Deepika deserved a little more screen space than what she did get. If you haven't figured out by now, I am very concerned with the actresses in a male-led film and the lack of screen time that they get. The next film I watched was Shehzada, which featured Kartik Aaryan and Kriti Sanon in the lead, along with Ronit Roy, Manisha Koirala, Paresh Rawal, and many, many more. It was directed by Rohit Dhawan, produced by T-Series, and was released on the 17th of February 2023. My review for this film is going to be very short. It was alright. I didn't watch this in the theater and I'm so glad I didn't. It was a story that we've seen before in films like Judwa and I think even maybe Circus, which added up because Shehzada was directed by Rohit Dhawan. The acting and the whole feel of the film felt a bit repetitive, with the basic comedy, the beauty no-brain characters, and it was too colorful of a palette. It was giving Golmaal again meets Houseful 3 and 4. I'm not even sure what saved the film, but I can safely say that an actress like Manisha Koirala was definitely not worth being in this film. Karthik's character's personality was like his previous movies, so there was not much variety there, and after seeing Kriti in films like Minii and or Luka Chupi, this was a bit of a letdown. I don't exactly remember the songs of Shehzada, but what I do remember is Karthik dancing with his feet whenever a song was played. Like, okay, we get it, you've mastered the art of leg movement. Oh, I think this was also the film that had the Character Dhila remake, right? Oh, totally unnecessary. As for rating, I'm gonna be generous and say 4 out of 10, man. Next up, we have Tu Jhooti Main Makkar with Ranbir and Shraddha Kapoor in the main leads, along with Anubhav Singh Bassi making his acting debut and the fabulous Dimple Kapadia amongst other actors. It was directed, written and produced by Love Ranjan and it released on the 8th of March 2023. This was another film I did not watch in the theater and I do not regret doing so. This is gonna sound terrible, but I think Bassi did a better acting job than Shraddha and Ranbir combined. Because the problem was not the lack of talent, because we all know Ranbir and Shraddha are amazing actors. Maybe Ranbir a tad bit more than Shraddha. The actual problem was somewhere between the direction and the characters' personalities. There was a misfit between how the characters should have been portrayed by Ranbir and Shraddha and the casting. The story was good. I didn't mind the story. But like I said, either Shraddha and Ranbir shouldn't have been casted or the direction could have been done better. I mean, Shraddha's finger movement had scarred me a little bit. I still don't know what it was, but either way. Ranbir has also said that this is the last of the young romantic comedies he's going to be doing, so that's a good thing, right? I mean, he's a daddy now. I mean, he's always been a daddy. Not for me, for others though. But I think it would be nice to see him in more character-driven films like Sanju or maybe even an army film. In fact, hot take, but I think Shamshera could have been a better film if the story wasn't the same as Bahubali. Otherwise, it wasn't that bad for Ranbir. On the contrary, what saved the film for me, apart from Bassi, were the songs. Bedardiya and Jadui left such an impact on me. In fact, I remember there was a day I was listening to Bedardiya from morning to night on repeat, crying in the bathroom. Mind you, I don't have a love life. No one's betraying me. Why was I crying listening to Bedardiya? I don't know. As for rating, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. 1 point for Bassi's acting, 2 for the songs, 1 for the story, and the extra point because it was my niece's daddy in the main lead, so I must. I have no words for the next film I watched. Mrs. Chatterjee vs. Norway. The fact that this is a true story is not only sad, but scary at the same time. This film starred Rani Mukherjee in the main lead along with Anirban Bhattacharya, Jim Sarb and Meena Gupta as well. It was directed by Ashimat Chibber and produced by MA Entertainment and Z Studios and released on the 17th of March 2023 in theaters, and it soon came on Netflix. I'm kind of glad that the theaters here did not play this film because I was not looking forward to being an emotional wreck in public. I think the casting in this case was very well done. Everyone portrayed their characters so well that I thought I was with them in the film. Because it's not like you can spice up, the story for entertainment purposes like how most true stories really go. The base itself for this film was so dramatically moving that it really relied on the talent of the actors, which I must say they carried quite well. Like I said, I have no words about the film, so this is going to be a very quick review. It was commendable, outstanding, and fits every emotionally positive word there is in the dictionary. It was a 10 out of 10 for me for sure. Alrighty, next film I watched was the Sanya Malhotra star Kathal. That was directed by Yashovardhan Mishra, produced by Balaji Motion Pictures, and released on May 19, 2023 on Netflix. This is going to be another quick review. I loved it. This movie catches you off guard from the title itself. And if you're someone like me that doesn't watch trailers, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. But I was very entertained throughout the film. I think the acting was very, very well done. In fact, adding actors like Vijay Raj and Rajpal Yadav with an actress like Sanya Malhotra is like one of those classic cocktails that everyone loves, but it's served with a kick of another drink that no one expects, but it enhances the taste a lot more. I'm sorry if this was a horrible reference. I don't drink like that. But the story was also amazing. I don't really have much recollection of the songs, but I love the film otherwise, and I definitely think it deserves an 8 out of 10 because I do think they could have used a little bit more promotion. Next on the list was Bloody Daddy, featuring my brother-in-law, Shahid Kapoor. Also part of the cast was Sanjay Kapoor, Diana Penty, Rajiv Khandelwal, Ronit Roy, and Vivan Batena. It was directed by Ali Abbas Zafar and produced by Jio Cinemas and was released online on June the 9th, 2023. I have mixed feelings about Bloody Daddy. I personally love seeing Shahid Kapoor in such, fierce two-timing kind of characters with, guns and everything. The kind of characters that are usually hard to figure out whether they're playing good side or the bad side, which is nice. But as for the film itself, I think there was something missing overall. I'm not sure whether it was the storyline or direction, but it wasn't like an absolutely amazing film. It was like an okay, nice kind of a film. Acting was good, yes, but yeah, I don't think, and besides that, there was anything really new. Maybe that's what it was. I think in terms of Shahid's work, I really liked Farzi, his series, more than Bloody Daddy. I don't know what that tells you, but yeah. As for rating, I think it was somewhere in the middle, a 5 out of 10. This next film, I watched in the theater by myself, and the only reason why I actually went to go watch this film was because of one of the songs. I'm talking about Satya Prem Ki Katha starring Kiara Advani and Kartik Aaryan in the main lead, with Gajraj Rao and Supriya Pathak as well. It was directed by Sameer Vidwans, produced by Nadia Dwala Grandson Entertainment, and was released on the 29th of June 2023 in theaters. So, I had seen the teaser of Satya Prem Ki Katha when it first dropped, and I remember getting literal goosebumps when I heard the song Aaj Ke Baad playing in the background. It was then that I knew I had to watch this film. When the song came out on all streaming platforms, I was immediately hooked and began listening to it on repeat for 2 to 3 weeks straight. When I went to watch the film, I was in tears and shivers during the song because it was so well portrayed by both Kartik and Kiara, and don't even get me started on the reprise version. The song and its lyrics fit so well with the storyline of the film, and it sort of enhanced it a lot more. I mean, I don't know if I'm making sense. Point is, Satya Prem Ki Katha was definitely a musical romance like they stated it to be. It's one of the sweetest films I've seen in a very, very long time. And everything was pretty much perfect, from casting to storyline to direction to music to final results. Usually, I find Kartik's characters to be pretty repetitive, but I'm gonna let it slide in this film because he did such an outstanding job, and I don't think anyone could have played Sattu the way he did. In fact, for the film to work, I guess Sattu had to be the way that he was, and who better to play Sattu than Kartik? Katha was made for Kiara, and she too did such an amazing and such a heartwarming job. I'ma definitely give this one a 10 out of 10. Honestly, if it wasn't for Aaj Ke Baad, we might have not had this film on the roster. For this next film, I'm just going to say one line because it is going to take a while to discuss it, but I preferred Lust Stories 1 over Lust Stories 2 by a mile, and that's that. We're almost done. Hold on. One of the final movies I watched was Bawal, featuring my love Varun Dhawan with one of my other favorites, Janhvi Kapoor, directed by Nitesh Tiwari, produced by Earth Sky Pictures and Nadia Grandson Entertainment. It was released on the 21st of July 2023 on Amazon Prime. Having not seen the trailer and based off of the teaser alone, I thought this was going to be like a reincarnation kind of a film, with clips of them being in World War II. But man, I was not expecting the movie to go the way it did. The story caught me completely off guard, but it was a different kind of nice. I think it's a great way to talk about history and, what the world was going through, but at the same time having the love story that was developing in today's times the way that it did, showing growth in Varun's character. It was definitely an interesting watch. Ajay Dikshit reminded me a bit of Badrinath Bansal at times, but I think overall Varun did a pretty great job. It wasn't anything crazy different really, but it was good work. With Janhvi, I must say she's quickly growing as an actress, and you can see that in every single film. The way she played Nisha reminded me a bit of her mom, Sridevi ji, which is a great thing. You could definitely see the mix of innocence and playfulness, which I thought was a job well done. I really enjoyed the songs of the film as well, and knowing that Varun and Janhvi shot a bit of the film here in the Netherlands just made it even a tad bit more special. I mean, honestly, had I not had exams during that time, I would have definitely tried to go find them. But as for the rating, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. And finally, the most awaited directorial comeback of the year, the big Dharma production, Karan Johar directed Rocky Aur Rani Ki Prem Kahani. Now, Minnie could have missed going for the first show on the first day of release on the 28th of July. Only problem with this film is that I don't know where to begin in praise. Starring my queen bee Alia Bhatt opposite Ranveer Singh, this cast was magnificently talented. With talent from all over India and across entertainment sources, I loved seeing so many familiar faces and so many new ones. This film had legends like Dharamji, Shabana Azmi and Jaya Bachchan sharing the screen, which was such a treat to watch. The chemistry between Dharamji and Shabanaji was like no other. It was legendary but refreshing at the same time. Ain't nobody was expecting that kiss either. We also had talent from Bengali cinema, playing Rani Chatterjee's parents, Churni Ganguly and Tota Roy Chaudhary. I think they gave us a very memorable performance, from the lingerie scene to the Kathak dancers. In fact, this is why I love being introduced to other artists, because now I'm very intrigued to see the rest of their work. I'm gonna be getting into Bengali cinema a lot more now. I was also super excited to see some familiar faces that I've grown up watching on TV. Playing Poonam Randhawa, we had Devyani ji, aka Shiti Jog, who I know from Ye Rishta Kya Kehlata Hai. And playing Gayatri Randhawa is Anjali Anand, who I also know from Dhai Kilo Prem and Kulfi Kumar Bajewala. Some other familiar faces also included Bharti and Harsh, Sriti Jha, Shraddha Arya, Arjun Bijlani, Arijit Taneja, Namit Das and Abhinav Sharma. And of course we had Amir Bashir playing Tijori Randhawa. Now, there's a reason why I went on to mention all of their names. This might sound controversial, but I can assure you it isn't. Personally, I think signing artists who are popular and known for their work on daily soaps and series for big projects like this or any mainstream cinema is a pretty great move for both the filmmaking team and the artists. And it should be done a lot more. See, of course, these artists definitely get the exposure and work that they deserve and look for, but also the amount of talent that comes out from TV shows and series is incredible. These artists are so hardworking, constantly being on set for more than 24 hours at once, portraying all these emotions. They have the right kind of mindset and skill to be displayed on big movie platforms. Plus, do you know the kind of fan base these guys have got? A movie like Rocky Aur Rani is not just a call for Alia stans or Ranveer stans. You're inviting a massive Ye Rishta Kya Kehlata Hai fan base to come watch your film. The makers are minting money, but at the same time, the messages you're trying to send out, like art is not bounded by gender, or the topics you want to talk about, like body shaming or colorism, is reaching the target audience, and a much larger one at that, in the right way. So yes, these names definitely deserve to be mentioned. I'm so proud and happy to see whoever I was able to recognize. I want to talk a little bit about Karan Johar before I round off the reviews. I may be biased towards his productions, but the amount of effort Karan puts into making his films perfect is incredible. His strive to perfection is what gives opportunities to talent in every form, whether it's the acting like we discussed, or going the extra mile to hire social media sensations like Yuvraj Dua and Junior J2, aka Rohit, to fine-tune accents and dialects, or even choreographies and direction. Karan is definitely more than what y'all see and deserves more credit than curse because he stays serving. I love you, Karan, and I hope you continue to make more films of all kinds. You've outdone yourself with Rocky Aur Rani, and I can't wait to see the more incredible ideas you have up your Gucci sleeves. And lastly, what do I say about the main leads? I should definitely mention that when I first heard about the film, I was a bit skeptical about the pairing. Sure, Gully Boy was great, but the focus on this kind of film is way different than what Rocky Aur Rani is. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I enjoyed the pairing so much. Alia as Rani will forever have a special place in my heart, as so much happened in her own life during this time, and needless to say, she did an excellent job at doing it all while looking good. Mama B, if you're watching this, I love you. And Ranveer, words fall short with every performance he delivers. No one could ever do Rocky like Ranveer. From start to finish, everything and everyone deserves a 10 out of 20. 10. No questions asked. Whew. 11 movies, and the year is only halfway through. Bollywood has given us so many great projects in the first half of 2023, and I'm so glad that people are enjoying it as much as they used to. The theaters are filling right back up, and I'm so sure that we're all looking forward to the rest of the year. I want to quickly mention some projects I'm really excited to see. Dreamgirl 2 has released today, and Ayushmann is looking sexier as ever. He's back in a sari and is paired with Ananya Pandey this time. I'll be headed to the theater to watch it soon, so I will keep y'all posted in that regard. This year clearly belongs to Shah Rukh Khan, with 3 movies that have been scheduled to release this year. We already had Pathaan, now we have Jawan releasing on the 7th of September, which I am definitely not going to miss, and my birthday gift, Dunki, which is scheduled to release late December. High expectations, and I know I'm not going to be disappointed. You already know where I'm going to be. Vicky Kaushal is starring with Miss World 2017 Manushi Chiller in The Great Indian Family, which is set to release on the 22nd of September. Feels like a hit or miss, but with Vicky, anything is possible. Then we have a strong female-led star cast for the upcoming October release. Thank you for coming. No, seriously, thank you for coming. With stunners Bhumi Pednekar, Dolly Singh, Kusha Kapila, Shehnaz Gill, and many more talented artists. I am super excited for this particular one because this seems like a crazy riot waiting to happen, and I can't wait to get on the ride. October is also seeing the return of Heropanti debutantes Tiger and Kriti in Gunpat along with Big B. Speaking of Tiger, scheduled to hit the cinemas in November is also Tiger 3 with Salman Khan and the goddess herself, Katrina Kaif. I'm not a big fan of Salman, but let's wait for November. You know what else is getting a part 3? Fukrey. Set to release in early December, this gang is definitely making a comeback. My birthday month is also seeing Shahid Kapoor and Kriti Sanon in a romantic film, which is still untitled. But oh, how I missed seeing Shahid in love. Okay, but Mallo, he also started the year with Mission Majnu and he's ending it with Yodha. Wishing us also a very Merry Christmas are Katrina Kaif and Vijay Sethupathi. And then closing off the year is the king himself again, Shah Rukh Khan with Dunki. Whew! Second half of 2023 is going to be real exciting as the first half. The cherry on top would be giving us some release date of Pippa, starring Ishan Khattar and Mrinal Thakur in the lead. We've already got the teaser, but the last known date of release was December 2022. It would be nice if he can join the list of all my favorites having a release this year. Please, we just want some Ishan Khattar content. Well, that was it. Y'all are probably sick and tired of me, but I promise more guests are in the lineup for a very exciting season 2 of Pxrdesi Mirchii. Let me know in the comments or via my other socials which of the reviewed movies did you love or hate, and which of the upcoming movies mentioned are you looking forward to seeing. I will see you guys in another episode really soon, so to be the first to find out, make sure you follow Pxrdesi Mirchii on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I post an episode, or make an Instagram post, or story, or maybe even an event collaboration. That is at the rate Pxrdesi Mirchii with an extra I at the end, because some things do not change, we are still extra. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode with all your friends and family, because why should only you be having all the fun? Until next time, this is Minnie signing off and going to the movies. Namaste, goodbye, and thank you for streaming Pxrdesi Mirchii 7291 non-FM.